Hi children, pleasant morning, how are you all? I hope you are doing good and great. In previous class, we learnt about a little bit of fractions. I think so you might have watched my video. Don't get disappointed about these videos. Definitely, we will give clear information in future from every topic. Today, we are going to teach a very interesting topic and useful topic also to you children. Shall we start our session? Today, our topic name is decimals. Today, our topic name is decimals. Okay children, today session we are going to teach introduction of decimals, and second one is definition of decimal, third one is decimal point, fourth one is how to convert fractions into decimals, fifth one is when did we use decimals, sixth one is how to write expand form of decimals. Finally, the seventh one is place value chart. Understood children? In mathematics, the numbers can be classified into different types, namely real numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers, rational numbers and so on. Decimal numbers also among them. Decimal numbers are standard form of representing integer and non-integers numbers. In this article, let us discuss in detail about decimals. Okay children, now, introduction of decimals. Introduction. The word decimals originates from the Latin word decim, which means tenth. Latin word decim means tenth. The Latin word is decim, which means tenth. This is a introduction of decimal. Decimal means tenth. The next one is definition of decimal. A number whose whole part is separated by decimal. A number whose whole part and decimal part is separated by decimal point. Thus, the decimal point is used to separate the whole numbers from the decimal fractions. Whole numbers from the decimal fraction. Suppose I take one number 2.5. This is the decimal number. This is the decimal number. This is the whole part. This is the decimal part. This is the decimal point. This is the decimal part. The whole part, the decimal point is used to separated by whole part and decimal part. This is the definition of decimal. Decimal numbers, decimal fractions, fractions with 10, 100, thousand. Fractions with 10, 100, 1000 in the denominator. Denominator means 1 by 10, 1 by 100, 1 by 1000. 1 by 10, 1 by 100, 1 by 1000. 1 by 1000. This is the numerator, this is the denominator. This type of fractions are called decimal fractions. These are also decimal numbers also. These are decimal fractions. Decimal fractions means fractions with 10, 100, thousands in the denominators are called decimal fractions. Okay. The next one is decimal places. The places after the decimal point, the places after the point are called decimal places. The places after the decimal point are called decimal places. Suppose 7.5. This is the decimal place. This is the decimal place. Decimal point after the decimal point are called decimal places. The 2.52. So 2.52, the number 2.52 has 2 decimal places. How many? 2 decimal places. The next one is the number 3.523 has how many places? How many decimal places? 3.523 has 3 decimal places. The number has 3 decimal places. Here I take 2.52. This is the decimal number. What is the place value of the decimal number? The given number. What is the place value of the given number? This is the whole number part. This is whole number part. This decimal point. This is decimal part. This is the decimal part. The whole number part, this value is the, what is the place value of 2? 2 is the ones place. 2 is the ones place. 2 is the ones place. And 5 is the tens place. 5 is the tens place. And 2 is the hundreds place. Hundreds. Hundreds place. Another example. 352.254. This is the decimal number. What is the place value of this number? And every digit. This is hundreds. This is tens. This is ones. This is the decimal point. This is tens. Hundreds. Thousands. Understood? Have you understood, children? This is the place value of this given decimal number. How to convert fraction into decimal. How to convert fraction into decimal? I take here 1 by 5. This is the fractional number. You have to convert into decimal. Convert into decimal. How? 1 is divided by 5. 1 divided by 5. 1 is divided by 5. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10. Here, this number is 1. That's why you have to put 0.0. 5 twos are 10. 5 twos are 10. This is the 0.2 is the decimal part. This is the 0.2 is decimal. 1 by 5 is converted to 0.2. Means fractional is converted to decimal. Two by 10. 2 by 10. Sir. Another example. 46 by 10. 46 divided by 10. 46 divided by 10. 10 4 ja 40. 6. Here you have to put decimal point 0. 10 6 are 60. This is the 4.6 is the, this fraction is converted to decimal. 46 by 10 is the 4.6. 565 by 100. 565 divided by 100. 100 5 ja 500. To put G decimal point. 100 6 ja 600. Another 0. This is the 5.65. Children, listen. This is the whole number part. Decimal point. This is the decimal part. Here, this is the tens place. This is the hundreds place. This is the hundreds place. Look at the example, children. 565 by 100. Here, how many zeros is here? 2. 2 zeros. The decimal point after 2 decimals. The 500, the 5.65 has 2 decimal places. Has 2 decimal places. Have you understood, children? Okay.
Decimals Review. Hello kids, today let us revise the decimals. We shall revise it point by point. Decimal numbers. decimal fractions that are fractions with 10, 100, 1000 and so on in the denominator can be represented as decimal numbers. For example, 3 upon 10 is represented and read as 0.3. 462 upon 1000 is written and read as 0.462. Mixed decimals. A mixed decimal contains a whole number that is the integral part and a decimal that is the decimal part. In this decimal, 93 is the integral part. The dot refers to the decimal point and 56 is called as the decimal part. Decimal places. The places after the decimal point are called decimal places. The number 7.58 has 2 decimal places. The number 0.391 has 3 decimal places. Place value system. The table here shows that decimal numbers extend the place value system to the right of the ones place. Expansion of decimal numbers. We already know that we express the decimal number in the expanded form by writing the sum of the value of each digit in the given number. The expanded form of 1514.862 is 1000 plus 500 plus 10 plus 4 plus 0.8 plus 0.06 plus 0.002. The expanded form of 872.006 is 800 plus 70 plus 2 plus 0.006. Here 0 is in the tenths and hundredths place, so we do not write its place value as it is always 0. Writing decimal numbers as fractions. Write the decimal number without decimal point in the numerator and 1 followed by as many zeros as the decimal places in the decimal number in the denominator. For example, writing fractions as decimal numbers. Write the digits of the numerator and put the decimal point such as to have as many decimal places as there are zeros in the denominator of the given fraction. For example, equivalent decimals. The decimals whose values do not change even after we insert zeros after the last decimal digit are called as equivalent decimals. For example, like and unlike decimals. Like decimals are the decimals having the same number of decimal places. For example, unlike decimals are the decimals that do not have same number of decimal places. For example, comparing and ordering of decimals. Convert the unlike decimals to like decimals and then compare the integral and decimal parts of the decimal numbers to arrange in ascending and descending order. Let's arrange these decimals in the ascending and descending orders. Convert all the decimals to like decimals. On comparing the decimal parts, we get 0.400 is greater than 0.390 is greater than 0.300 which is greater than 0.039. Thus, we get the ascending order and descending orders as shown here. Kids, this revision will definitely help you all fractions to decimals. Let's begin with fractions in which the numerator is greater than the denominator. Convert the given fractions to decimals. Step 1. Write down the number given in the numerator. For all the examples, the numerator is the same, that is 67,831. Step 2. Count the number of zeros in the denominator and put a decimal point such that the decimal places are equal to the number of zeros. In example 1, there is only one zero in the denominator. So, we count one place from the right towards left to place the decimal point. Thus, we get 6783.1. In the second example, there are two zeros in the denominator. So, we count two places from the right towards left to place the decimal point. Thus, we get 678.31 as the decimal number. In example 3, the denominator has three zeros. So, we count three places from the right towards left to place the decimal point. Thus, we get 67.831. Now, what happens when the numerator is less than the denominator? When the numerator is less than the denominator, step 1. We put zeros in front of the digits of the numerator to get as many digits in the numerator as in the denominator. Step 2. Count the number of zeros in the denominator and put a decimal point such that the decimal places are equal to the number of zeros. Let us look at a few examples. Convert 9 upon 100 as a decimal. First, write down the number in the numerator, that is 9. Now, look, there are three digits in the denominator. So, when we add two zeros before the number 9, we get the same number of digits in the numerator as in the denominator. Now, count two places from the right towards left to place the decimal point as there are two zeros in the denominator. Thus, we get the answer as 0.09. Convert 38 upon 100 as a decimal. Here, before the number 38, we add one zero in order to get the same number of digits in the numerator as in the denominator. Now, count two places from the right towards left to place the decimal point as there are two zeros in the denominator. Thus, we get the answer as 0.38. For the last example, convert 7 upon 1000 as a decimal. There are four digits in the denominator. So, we add three zeros before the number 7 and get the same number of digits in the numerator as in the denominator. Now, count three places from the right towards left to place the decimal point. Thus, we get the answer as 0.007. Now, why don't you try solving some problems on your own?